This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. So till last class, we have finished our CACD. As a part of CACD, Git Maven Jenkins, we have understood how to create CACD pipelines, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Continuous deployment part we have done on a Tomcat 10 server, and we have watched. I hope you have done. Okay, you have completed a continuous deployment. Okay, now so today we are going to see what is the need of IAC tools. IAC stands for infrastructure as code. What is the need of IAC tools? Now here if you look at this DevOps flow diagram once again, just have a look of this DevOps life cycle. Okay, just for 5 minutes I will explain this diagram. Then I will explain what is the need of infrastructure as code, Terraform like tools. So whenever a new project comes to your organization, okay, first developer will come into picture. They are going to write code, okay, and not only single developer, multiple developers will be participating for a project here. This is developer environment. And at the end of the day, every developer is going to submit code into version control system or source code management system code repository. Okay, so source code management system is a area, is a server which is going to manage the code that is submitted by various developers. Like it is going to remember the history, like who developed what at what time he has submitted. Okay, it is going to maintain versions of the code also. And in version control system or source code management system, code is available here. But we cannot use code directly, right? Code must be converted into some application format, artifact format, or website format. Okay, so we can also say website. So flipkart.com is there, amazon.com is there. This is something like website also, website format. So to convert your code into application or website format, we are going to promote the code into build environment. So this is one environment, right? Environment is nothing but server. Environment is nothing but server plus some softwares installed. If you look at this build environment, for building code, we have created one AWS server, and we have installed Maven software, JDK software. Then we have done build activity. So in build environment, the outcome is what? Website or application. So can I give this website to my customer directly? No. So it must be tested thoroughly. So to test it thoroughly, we are going to place this artifact into testing environment. This is automated test environment. Okay, in the automated test environment, testers will come into picture. They are going to perform various testings like load balancing testing, performance testing, system testing. Many testings are done. Yeah, this is also an environment. So to test your application, we need to have some hundreds of systems, tens of systems. That is also one environment. So here also we need some servers along with some Tomcat or other softwares installed. And once the testing is over, one tester satisfies. Once the tester says okay, so again that must be tested by your business client, business customer. So for that we are going to promote the code into UAT. UAT or pre-prod environment. So here your business customer is going to test the application in every angle, like whether it is meeting all the requirements of the client or not. Okay, and whether it is excellent or not. So after that, when he feels satisfies, the code is promoted to live environment. The code is placed in hundreds of live servers. This is my production environment. Here also this is environment. Okay, So here every time I am speaking like environment. Okay, environment creation is only one time job. And suppose for an environment I need to have 50 servers along with JDK and Maven installed. Okay, so if you want to create 50 servers along with JDK or Maven installed, if you are using manual approach, it takes a lot of time. As a DevOps engineer, your responsibility is to automate this process, to automate 50 servers creation process. Okay, once all servers are created, so you can call that server script from Jenkins. Okay, so Jenkins is a tool which is going to allow you to create CI/CD pipelines. That means here we are looking this as a cycle, right? This is just like a sequence of steps. First, source code management system, Maven. Next, testing, UAT, live. Everything is like a pipeline. As a DevOps engineer, okay, we have seen how to create a CI pipeline, CD pipeline. So when you are able to automate these activities, definitely the time is reduced. The time is reduced, okay, to deliver the software. So in the Jenkins classes, we have already known how to create CI pipeline, CD pipeline. So our next job as a DevOps engineer is, okay, so we have to have environments. Okay, we have to create environments. But how you can create environments? Environment is nothing but, I told you, right? So it is nothing but it is a collection of servers along with some softwares pre-installed. Now I have to automate this process. Automation means we have to write automated scripting. To write automated scripting, okay. So in DevOps, we have something like IAC tools. Means we are going to write code to create infrastructure. Okay, so the need of IAC tools is to create environments. Environment can be either dev environment, QA, or UAT. So your environment is nothing but what? Servers with software's installation. To create environments means to automate environment creation process. So for that we are going to use something like IAC tools, infrastructure as code. That means using infrastructure as the code tool, we will be writing automated scripting. That scripting you can call from Jenkins. Okay. So here, for the sake of automation of environment creation, we are going to use IAC tools. But there are several IAC tools available in the market. Okay. Other IAC tools available. So what are the other IAC tools? When it comes to AWS, we have something like CloudFormation. It is also IAC tool, but it is only for AWS cloud. It can create virtual machines, load balancers, networking only in AWS cloud. Okay, and there is one more IAC tool called ARM templates. ARM stands for Azure Resource Manager. Okay, this is also a IAC tool, but it is only for Azure cloud. So these are cloud specific tools. These are completely cloud specific tools. Okay, suppose to create infrastructure today, you have learned the cloud formation tool as you are working on AWS cloud. After 1 year, after 1 or 2 years, your project might be shifted to Azure. Then you will be learning what? ARM templates. Okay, so after 1 year, again your project might be shifted to GCP. there also one IAC tool will be there. Like that, how many IAC tools you are going to learn? It is not correct, right? Okay, since we cannot learn all IAC tools, since we cannot learn all IAC tools that are presented, that are existing, okay, since we cannot learn all IAC tools that are existing, we have to learn a generic IAC tool called Terraform. Terraform not only creates infrastructure on AWS cloud, on Azure cloud, almost on any cloud. Okay, so we have so many public clouds, right? AWS cloud is there, Azure cloud is there, GCP is there, Ali cloud is there, IBM cloud, Oracle cloud, like that many clouds are there. Okay, you take any cloud, on any cloud it can build infrastructure. That is a greatness, that is a excellent feature of Terraform. Okay, so here Terraform is a generic IAC tool, okay, that can build infrastructure. Infrastructure means you can consider anything like virtual machines. You may ask, without Terraform also we can create a, infrastructure, but that is a manual activity. From website you are creating, but that is not a correct approach, right? As a DevOps engineer, you have to automate that process. Okay, in single shot we must be able to create as many servers as you want. So whatever virtual machines so far we have been creating, that is completely manual. From website we are creating, but that is not a good approach. That is not a DevOps approach. Okay, anyone can create, but as a DevOps engineer we have to write code. Okay, to write code we should know Terraform. Code means it is not complex coding, it is very easy coding. Okay, so Terraform is a generic ISC tool that can build the infrastructure like virtual machines, okay, database servers, okay, network. These are all infrastructure on every cloud like AWS, Azure, GCP, okay, Ali Cloud, Oracle, etc. Many clouds are there. On any infrastructure, you can build infrastructure. You can create infrastructure. Okay. So Terraform. Okay. So here, who has given Terraform? So here a company called HashiCorp is there. HashiCorp is a company has given, okay, the following products. What are the products it has given? One is Vagrant. Vagrant. So Vagrant, it is a tool which creates VMs in local operating systems. If you want to create a virtual machines in Windows, okay, we can use Vagrant, but Vagrant is not that much useful because it requires a lot of memory, so it is not that much performance uh, tool. Okay, so it is not our concern. And second one is Packer. So here it is a tool which automates custom AMIs creation. In AWS and Azure, we can create custom AMIs, our own AMIs. So if you want to automate this process, you can use Packer. Packer is also not that much useful nowadays. Okay, so out of all tools, Terraform is very popular. Okay, it is a IAC tool which builds infra on every public cloud. Okay. Now to write automated coding in Terraform, we must know a data representation format called HCL. HCL means what? HashiCorp configuration language. It is especially used by Terraform, not by all tools. Okay, it is one kind of data representation format. Like to represent data, how we use XML, JSON, and in Jenkins we have used some format, right? Like Groovy. In scripted pipelines we have used Groovy. That is one kind of format that is specific to scripted pipeline only. Here also Terraform is going to use one format. That format is called as HashiCorp configuration language. It is especially used by Terraform only. So if a format is used by a particular technology, that is called as what? DSL. DSL means what? Domain specific language. Domain specific language. Domain specific language. Okay. So here Groovy is also here Terraform uses HCL, HashiCorp configuration language. How how we can write a script in HCL? Suppose I want to represent a employee information. Okay, for example, represent the employee information in HCL. It is very easy. Okay, it is just like JSON, but it is not JSON. It is just like JSON, but it is not JSON. JSON is completely different. HCL is different. HCL is very easy than JSON. Okay, generally I want to represent a person's name. Okay, designation, company name, company, country. Okay, so this information I want to represent. So to represent, we have to write like this. So it is like name equal to something like KSK. Okay, designation equal to manager. Company or organization. Better you write organization. Company. Organization equal to Microsoft. Country equal to India. This is how HCL format. Okay, easy. It is very easy, right? If you want to represent same thing in a JSON, this is HCL representation. If you want to represent same thing in JSON, we have to write like this, JSON format. You have to open a bracket and you have to write like this, name colon KSK, comma is required here, designation equal to manager, once again comma, organization Microsoft. A colon is required between key and value. Whatever you are writing on the left side of colon is called as key, and whatever you are writing on the right side is called as value. Country equal to India. This is how JSON representation. Okay, this is HCL representation. This is HCL format. This is JSON format. Okay, here if you want to represent something in XML, XML is old format, right? XML format. But nowadays no one is using XML because like XML is having some drawbacks. Okay, you have to write something like person. Here this is root element. Within this we are going to write name. ASK close name designation. Close it. And organization. And the last element is what? Country. India. And close person at last. This is a root element, right? This is XML format. Okay. And there is one more format, YML format is there. This is also a data representation format which is used mostly nowadays. In Ansible, Kubernetes, we are going to use YAML format. So here we use this format in Ansible Kubernetes. And you can write like this here. Name equal to ASK and designation equal to organization. Okay, Microsoft. Country, India. Okay, this is YAML format. So here this JSON format is used by cloud formation and ARM templates. Azure. Here these are the four different data representation formats. So as far as our Terraform is concerned, we are going to use HCL format. HCL is very easy to understand, organize, to write, understand. Okay. Now to write Terraform script, we have to understand few Terraform blocks. So a Terraform script is a collection of blocks. Okay, a block will contain one or two lines. So the first block that we are going to use is provider block. Okay, it indicates the platform or the cloud platform where we want to build infrastructure. Means whether you are building infrastructure on AWS cloud or Azure cloud, GCP, Ali cloud, IBM cloud, Oracle, on which platform, on which cloud platform you wanted to build infrastructure. Let us go and verify provider block in for everything. There is official documentation from Terraform. Excellent documentation is there. Okay, Terraform provider. You can ask like this. Now you seeing here, these are the providers. Okay, I am giving link also. for providers. Refer here. Always use official documentation, guys, because for every activity from Terraform there is official documentation. So these are the providers. Providers are a logical abstraction of an upstream job. They are responsible for underlying APIs, interaction, exposing resources. The provider can be something like AWS provider, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, Ali Cloud, Oracle Cloud. Just now I told you, right? These are all providers. Okay. So this is the first block that we are going to specify where you want to create your infrastructure. So what is the next block here? Next block is what? Resource block. So this block indicates what resource you want to create. What resource means what? Your resource can be something like virtual machine or network, a route table, gateway. Okay, these are all resources. Okay, you are connected. Okay, you are connected to a particular cloud. Within that cloud, how which resource you wanted to create? The resource can be virtual machine, network, load balancer, route table. It can be anything. It can be anything. Okay. Next output block is there. This block contains the outputs that we want to display. This is optional. Suppose you have created a virtual machine. You have created a virtual machine. Okay, virtual machine will have some outcomes, right? Like IP address will be there. Okay, and disk name is there. I want to display what is the IP address of public IP address of the virtual machine that you can display by using output. My provider block, this is only one time. This is only for first time. Every time you don't need to execute this provider block. Provider block is going to download all the necessary plugins that are required for building your infrastructure. Okay. Now, and we have to know something about arguments. So arguments are nothing but what? These are input values to a resource. Suppose I want to create a virtual machine. To create a virtual machine, we need to give some parameters, right? Like what is the AMI, what is machine size, okay, what is the hard disk capacity, in which subnet you wanted to create a virtual machine. Suppose I want to create a hard disk. To create a hard disk, we need to give some arguments, right? We need to give some input parameters, like what is the size of the hard disk, okay, in which availability zone you wanted to create. That is nothing but what? Arguments. Okay. Now let us see Terraform arguments. So like this, many websites will come. Always select official websites. Suppose I want to create Terraform AWS EBS value. EBS value is nothing but hard disk. People are not giving. AWS EC2 instance. Are you seeing guys here? Provider block is there here. AWS and where we can see arguments. Just a minute, guys. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, guys. Thanks for waiting. Okay, here why it is not opening this build infrastructure? Terraform, AWS, EC2. Not module. I am don't want to look for module. Now just have a look here. First provider block. Provider block configures the provider like AWS, Azure resources. So initializing working directory, creating infrastructure. Okay. So for some reason he is not displaying anything. Otherwise AWS VPC creation. Again, this is modules. I don't want to display modules. Click on examples. Read examples. Okay, so for some reason today they is not giving. Okay, so always remember that arguments are nothing but input values. Suppose I want to create a VPC. To create a VPC, I need to give input values like what is the CIDR range, what is the VPC name, what is the tag name. These are all arguments. Okay. So next, when it comes to attributes, attributes are nothing but output values. Once you create a virtual machine, you will be getting some output values, right? IP address of the virtual machine. Okay, virtual machine ID. That is nothing but attributes. Now, connecting to AWS or Azure or GCP clouds from Terraform. So before you are going to create any infrastructure, you have to connect to the cloud, right? This is just like this. Suppose this is my Terraform. This is my virtual machine from where I am running Terraform. Terraform report. So this is a machine from where we are running Terraform. Okay. So it can be any system. It can be Windows system. It can be Linux system, whatever it may be. And from Terraform, we will be connecting to clouds, right? Various clouds. Into any cloud you can connect. AWS report. So this is AWS cloud. Like this, we can connect to Azure cloud also, right? Because Terraform is a generic IAC tool. Azure report. Our major focus is Azure AWS. Then we will be doing some examples in Azure cloud. Here major clouds are also three clouds: Azure, AWS, Azure and GCP. So this is GCP cloud platform. My Terraform has to connect to one of the clouds, right? Either it can connect to AWS cloud, or it can connect to Azure cloud, or it can connect to GCP cloud. Suppose I want to create a virtual machine in AWS cloud. How we are doing that, guys, these many days? First, we are logging into AWS cloud, right? By giving username and password. console.aws.amazon.com. Then we are logging into AWS website. We are creating any resource. Here also, for my Terraform to connect to the AWS cloud, it needs some credentials, right? Credentials are required. So your credentials are nothing but here access key and secret key. Both are required for my Terraform to connect to AWS cloud. And to connect to Azure cloud, there is a different mechanism. To connect to GCP, there is a different mechanism. But to connect to AWS cloud, we need access key and secret key. This is just like username and password. Terraform requires these credentials, right? Now, before that, let us install Terraform. For Terraform, to create infra in AWS cloud, okay, we need to have AWS accounts credentials. What are that? Access key and what? Secret key. Okay. So how to create access key, secret key, that we will see. Before that, installation of Terraform. I hope everyone is using Mac operating system, right? Sorry, Windows operating system, not Mac. So here, first set up Chaco. What is Chaco, guys? Chaco is a package management tool for Windows. Like how we are using apt for Linux, Chaco is a package management tool for Windows. Okay, and now to set up Chaco, go to Chrome browser. Just say Chaco installation. Chaco installation on Windows. And just you need to run this PowerShell script. You need not to know what is this. And from where you have to run this script. Run the following PowerShell. This is only one time job. Run the following PowerShell script from Windows PowerShell admin mode. Okay. And here in the search, look for PowerShell. Right click here, select run as administrator. Exactly. Okay. Copy paste this script. This script. Don't try to understand this script. Blindly copy paste it. This is a script for setting up Chaco. Okay. Once you are doing this activity, exit out of this and launch once again PowerShell. Now check whether Chaco is installed or not. Chaco hyphen version. Are you seeing 1.2.1 is showing? Second step is what? Relaunch PowerShell in admin mode and check whether Chaco is installed. Using Chaco, we install other softwares. Chaco -- version. Now, using Chaco, install Terraform. Chaco installation is only one-time job, guys. Okay, generally when you want to install softwares on Windows, we are downloading a software, we are uploading, we are installing, right? That is a 2 to 3 steps process. But using Chaco, okay, it is very much easy. And one more thing, as a DevOps engineer, you have to use Chaco only. You are not supposed to use anything like downloading and installing. That is completely manual process. Now, so to install Terraform using Chaco, again from PowerShell admin mode. Every time you have to be from admin mode only to install softwares. Check like ask like this: Chaco Terraform. It is very easy, guys. It is very interesting also. And come down. Are you seeing 3 options here? Installing, upgrading, uninstalling. Okay, I want to install it. Just copy this command. On the right side, a copy button is there. Click on that. At last, include -y. This is for auto approval. Okay, include -y. Okay, it is telling in my case already Chaco is there. It is 1.3.6. Okay, use force to reinstall or specify a version to install or re-upgrade. Okay, so I am going to upgrade it. In your case, this will not come. Are you seeing first state is downloading, next state is installing. In case of manual activity, you have to download first. Suppose I want to install Git. How did you install Git? First you have downloaded, right? Then you have double clicked on that and you have said next, 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 next. That is a lengthy process. And close it and relaunch it. In Windows, immediately the changes installations will not be taking place. That is why we have to relaunch it every time. Whereas on Windows it is not required. Sorry, whereas on Linux it is not required. Now check Terraform -- version. Are you seeing 1.5 something is installed on Windows AMD 64? Okay, this is how you can set up your Terraform. Relaunch PowerShell in admin mode and check Terraform -- version. Guys, by tomorrow you do these activities and try to watch the video once again. I explained in each and every point in a clear way. Okay, just watch it one or twice and install Terraform and how to set up credentials, how to create credentials, how to create our working directory for Terraform, that we are going to discuss in the next class. Is everything clear, guys? Any questions so far? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Shall we stop now? If any questions are there, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will stop it for today. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm stopping. Tomorrow, meet again.